Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mr Mullins, for attending today. And also thank you very much for your service over many years, in fact, nearly half a century. I'm very pleased that the opening sentence, in fact, the opening line of your presentation, you used the word empirical. And when I first used that in the Senate in 2016 and in the media, I had to get a lot of journalists were running off getting their dictionaries, and senators were giggling and carrying on. I'm pleased to see that you have used that word empirical. There is another part to that, though, that needs to be proven when it comes to cause and effect. It's not just the word empirical, not just the empirical data, but also presenting that in a causal framework that establishes cause and effect. Are you with me on that?
Yes. Yes.
I've had to use data, and because I've had to manage people's lives, make sure people stayed alive. So I always relied on empirical data and understood cause and effect, especially investigating safety incidents, to establish cause. Now, in your opening paragraph and in your recommendation 1, you state irrefutable empirical scientific data confirm warming climate proven to be caused by burning of coal, oil and gas is resulting in worsening and more frequent extreme weather events that spawned the 2019-20 bushfires. Could you please tell me the specific source of your empirical scientific evidence within a logical structure proving cause and effect that carbon dioxide from human activity affects climate? I'd like to know the specific title of the publication. I'd like to know the specific page numbers in which the data is there presented and in which the causal relationship is established. Now, I know you've used a lot of references from SBS, The Guardian, the Greens Party, the Bureau of Meteorology, CSIRO, the ABC, but I would like to know the specific location of the specific empirical data that scientifically proves cause and effect that carbon dioxide from human activity affects climate. Could you do that for me, please, either on notice or now?
Senator, Chair, do I have to answer this question? Senator, I've read your website. I've read or tried to read a lot of your stuff that you've published, and so I read very widely for and against. I don't think there would be any purpose served me trying to convince you of what thousands of scientists agree on and the settled science, and it is settled science. And I'm at a loss to know how to deal with your assertion. I won't call it a question.
Thanks, thanks, Mr. Mullins.
Provide me with
Senator Roberts.
Title of empirical scientific evidence in a causal framework establishing cause and effect.
Look, I could provide many for you, but I'm a retired person.
One would do.
I frankly don't have the time to deal with denialists who can't accept settled science.
I think what I'd propose.
Your admission.
Thanks, Senator Roberts.
That was not an admission; it was exasperation, Senator.
Thanks.
Your exasperation and admission. Now, we have talked also about.
You've got one last question, Senator Roberts. If that's okay, we are out of time.
Yeah, one more question. That'd be fine. Are you aware, Mr. Mullins, that in my cross-examination of the CSIRO, that the CSIRO's acting head of climate change admitted to me that today's temperatures are not unprecedented, and that the CSIRO admitted to me in an earlier presentation in Sydney that they have never said that carbon dioxide from human activity poses a danger, and they never will say it. Are you aware that today's temperatures are not unprecedented?
Senator, now that's a very broad question. Are you talking about hundreds of millions of years when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth, or when humans? And I say again, I have read your material, and the assertions made therein under the guise of being in scientific language, and I find it very concerning and quite muddled. And I'd be very surprised if the CSIRO said what you've just stated, just as you said, that
Mr. Mullins, I
I
have it in
didn't
writing.
have any reference.
Mullins, I have it in
It wasn't
writing.
true.
Mr. Mullins,
Thanks,
I have it in writing. But
thank-
thank you very much, Chair.
Thanks, Senator Roberts. Mr Mullins, I do want to thank you very much for